Zillow stock is down more than 30%, and here's why. What's up guys, it's McKeown back again with another video this week. And if you've not heard, Zillow, one of the largest contributors in the real estate market, has decided to end its iBuyers program. If you're not familiar with what an iBuyer program is, it's similar to Opendoor or what Zillow has now, where they go out and they purchase a property, probably a property that may be a little bit distressed, or maybe a seller just really needs to sell and they need to sell quick. I personally have had a handful of clients as well that have turned around and decided to sell to Zillow just for the process being a little bit easier. Now, their intent when they purchase the house is to do a little bit of work, or sometimes not even any work at all, turn around, sell it on the market, and make a profit. Now, personally, Opendoor has been in the Dallas-Fort Worth market for quite some time, and Opendoor honestly is going to be here to stay. Zillow, however, kind of took a different approach, and what they did is, especially during the peak of the market, they decided to buy as many houses as possible, as quick as they could, for really astronomical prices. Now, the real estate industry is never going to get rid of iBuyers. iBuyers could be you personally being a wholesaler trying to purchase a property from an individual seller, all the way to the large corporations such as Opendoor or Zillow. At the end of the day, there's still going to be a small market share for individuals that are looking to sell their house with little to no hassle. Now, the issue here is Zillow originally was just a real estate website. I'm sure all of us have visited Zillow, whether it be to just randomly look at super nice houses or to potentially look at a house that you may have for sale. However, Zillow then transitioned into an actual real estate company. With their transition into a real estate company, they started hiring real estate agents to work for their company, as well as started an iBuyer program. The iBuyer program's intent was to be able to purchase houses that weren't going to be using the traditional real estate model, using a buyer's agent and a seller's agent, and their intent was really to push out the traditional real estate model. Now, me being a professionally licensed real estate agent, I'm not going to sit here and take one side or the other. I'm not for nor against Zillow. I think Zillow is a great website, and what it offers a lot of the traditional customers as well as clients out there is tremendous. They do have a lot of real estate agents outside of Zillow that do not prefer the company because they are trying to get rid of me, the traditional real estate agent. Now, the sad part here is if you do own some Zillow stock, you're probably hurting right now. Also, they decided to lay off about 25% of their entire employees because they're getting rid of their iBuyer program. Now, with Zillow laying off about 25% of their workforce doesn't mean they're a complete failure. Obviously, every single business, including myself, there's going to be tons of trials and tribulations. There's going to be a lot of admits and defeats as well as successes. And this in particular, a lot of us real estate agents are happy for them getting out of the iBuyer program, but it's just going to be another failure for Zillow that turns around and helps them succeed further. Zillow is not just a real estate website or a real estate company. Zillow's been around for quite some time, and a little hiccup in their business model right now is not something that's going to be pushing them out of the business. If I had any guess, I would say they are going to double down on their actual real estate company and be hiring more agents and really be offering their systems and services on the real estate brokerage side now that they're out of the iBuyer program. So where did this all start from? Obviously, Zillow has been purchasing homes for quite some time. Zillow has also been purchasing homes for really more than what they're worth. And when you purchase a house for more than it's worth, obviously the local homes around you, appraisal value will go up. But if you immediately turn around and sell it, you're not gonna be able to then sell it for more than you already overpaid for. So a news article about 5 days ago came out in the city of Phoenix stating that Zillow is actually selling 93% of their homes for less than what they actually paid for them. Now, you can do the simple math. If you go out and you purchase something and then you turn around and sell it, 93 out of 100 times, you're actually losing money. You're not gonna be able to contain and sustain that business model for the long term. Now, there also was a recent TikTok video about 3 weeks ago that kind of orchestrated a potential model that Zillow was trying to produce. Now, the model was Zillow is going to go out, purchase as many homes as they possibly can within a certain subdivision or certain area with the intent to then purchase them at such a high price that they then drive the price up in that local market. Now, with that price driven up in the local market, then they're going to be able to resell the earlier homes that they purchased at the before market price and then profit the difference. So in theory, if you're able to purchase as many houses as Zillow obviously has the budget to do so, you can in theory really drive up an independent market by just purchasing houses over and over and over again. To give you guys an example, that's kind of happening in the Dallas market. For instance, just in the last 2 years, let's say a house at the beginning of 2020, if you wanted to buy it, it was probably $300,000. You fast forward to the end of 2020 in that local market, in that local subdivision, maybe a new home similar to the one that you bought at the beginning of the year for $300,000, maybe it's selling for $340. Well, then it sells for $340. Well, then within 12 months, you already have $40,000 in equity. So let's say you turn around a year later and you sell it. You're not gonna obviously list it for $300. You're gonna turn around and list it for $340. So that's exactly what Zillow has been doing, but at an expedited process. So they'd pick up a home for $300,000. It wouldn't quite appraise, but they're paying cash. So maybe it's only really worth $280, but they buy it cash. It sells for $300,000. Once it closes in 10 to 14 days, they can go purchase one down the street maybe for $310. Down the road a little bit more, maybe $325, $340, $375, all the way up to $400. Within a 6-month or less period, you've pushed houses in one particular area from a $300,000 value to then a $400,000 value. Well, the issue is they purchased 1,000 homes for $300,000 a year ago. And now they're worth $400,000 because they pushed the appraised and market value. So do the math. If you've got 1,000 homes that have all appreciated $100,000 because of your business model, it seems like it's going to be a good business model. But again, that was a theory completely spoken out by someone on TikTok. So again, it could have been what they practice. It could not have been what they practiced. But the reality is Zillow is selling over 7,000 homes for $2.8 billion to local institutionalized investors to get them off their books, even if it's a complete and utter failure. So once again, if you're in the real estate industry, you've already heard of this. You already kind of have your own take, whether or not you're happy or you're sad given the situation. I am really indifferent. Zillow for me personally has never been really a competition at the end of the day, but it is a huge loss for some of those employees as well as individuals that hold Zillow as stock. Now, at the end of the day, Zillow is a huge platform. They have a ton of information, they have a ton of data, and they have a ton of opportunity to be able to do what they want in this industry. Now, obviously, they've made the tough decision to get out of the iBuyer program. This obviously isn't going to be the end of Zillow. Now, it is stated that they've lost $381 million in the last quarter alone. That alone has been the reason why they decided to get out of the iBuyer option. Now, obviously, those funds and the income that they continue to generate and the revenue that they continue to generate is going to be allocated elsewhere rather than the iBuyer program, and I'm curious to see where that leads to. Now, if you aren't familiar with the backside of Zillow and kind of the side that real estate agents deal with the most, Zillow is actually an ad spending website. For instance, myself, I'm a licensed real estate agent and I pay Zillow for people's information. So if you are an individual on Zillow and you type in your information, you possibly could get connected to me if I'm paying for that particular zip code. Now, I used to have a pretty healthy ad spend. I've toned it down a little bit and just mainly use it for additional leads for the agents on my team. But there are people out there that their sole business is generated from the ads and opportunities for people's contact information that they use by paying Zillow. Now, this is what causes a lot of the hatred and the angst that real estate agents such as myself have towards Zillow, because at the end of the day, agents are paying Zillow. Zillow is turning around and creating a real estate company with agents to then use their iBuyer program and eliminate the use of real estate agents. So in theory, agents such as myself are paying Zillow, then paying Zillow to really take them out of the business. And if you know a real estate agent, they're probably happy with the whole scenario that's happening with Zillow right now, because Zillow is trying to get us out of business. Now, I don't personally know a ton about Zillow. I haven't looked into them a ton in terms of their Zestimate. I'm sure everyone knows what their Zestimate is. You just log into Zillow, type in your address, and you can see what your property is worth. A lot of their data and a lot of the knowledge that Zillow has accumulated, they use that Zestimate probably to determine how much your house is worth, and in turn also determine how much they want to pay for your house at the end of the day. Now, me personally, I've had one situation where I've lost a client's potential opportunity to sell because Zillow decided to purchase it at a premium amount. Now, you can kind of imagine what happens there if Zillow continues to do this. And this, again, was a couple years back. So Zillow has also continued to increase this at kind of an exponential amount, where they've went out, given you a value for your house, and you were like, yes, I'll sell my house for that amount. You go ahead and sell your house for that amount. They turn around and then they try to list it for more but can't sell. So at the end of the day, this is kind of what has caused Zillow to really go out of business when it comes to buying houses. So Zillow is going to return to being a large real estate website. Zillow is also going to return to really being the advertisement opportunity for real estate agents. We real estate agents are actually supporting their business model. Now, I would say maybe more real estate agents are going to be more inclined to purchase ads, knowing that they're purchasing ads and paying Zillow with the knowledge that they no longer purchase houses on behalf of their company. And Zillow is also going to go back to probably focusing, as I mentioned before, more on their actual real estate company. Now, what does that mean for the company stock, as well as us as competing agents? I do not know, and only really time will tell, but I'm curious to see what you guys think about Zillow. Is it a great website for you? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Obviously, there are going to be differing opinions based on the fact if you are a real estate agent or if you're just a regular consumer. But again, guys, I appreciate you watching all of my videos. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help, and stay tuned for the next video.